The drama just never ends. All of this drama. And I'm sitting here sipping my tea. It really is tea in this cup. I don't know if you can see it. That's really tea. Um, who the fuck do I start with first on this messy ass show? Give me a minute. I'm thinking who I should start with. I don't know. It's a lot of people I could talk shit about right now. I'm trying to figure out, should I save one for last or one for the middle or one? I know who I'm gonna get. I know who I'm gonna start with first. The two, the two most irrelevant people. Well, not my favorite people. Franco and Elizabeth. uh, I have to start with them, obviously. First of all, oh my God, hold on. Lord have mercy. So, is it Friday yet? So we got one more day. We got one more day. It feels like a Friday. I don't know. I can't take another day of this shit. I can't. I can't take another day of this shit. Like they should have just let today be Cliffhanger Friday. They should have just let it. Okay, let me compose myself here. So Franco got an engagement ring for Elizabeth. And the whole time he was putting that ring on her finger, I'm just thinking like, what jewelry store did he rob to get that ring? It looked like that ring cost at least like a few grand. I would say probably like 10, $15,000 at least. Um, maybe 20. Nah, he wouldn't spend that much. He probably stole that shit. He probably went to K Jewelers in the middle of the night and robbed them motherfuckers blind. K Jewelers, y'all better watch out security cameras. I'm just saying. You got a freak on the loose. Um, so yeah, his punk ass proposed to her or whatever. Now he want to talk to her about Jason and Drew. And of course, as soon as you mention Jason and Drew, guess who pop up like the Candyman? Kim Nero. I said, of course. That bitch be lurking. She got Drew radar. As soon as somebody mentioned Drew Kane, that bitch be on it. I said, damn, her spidey senses was tingling. As soon as she heard the name Drew, that bitch was at that door like that. I said, damn, bitch. I was like, you was at the door already? I was like, damn, she jonesing for Drew. Like, as soon as you mention Jason or Drew, like mainly Drew, it's like she be on that shit. I was like, damn, bitch. So she lying, talking about something she got turned around. She don't know where the calf at or whatever, where the lounge is. I said, bitch, you know. That hospital ain't all that damn big. I seen the sets. So anyway, her and Elizabeth talking or whatever, and Elizabeth sitting there telling her pretty much everything from when Drew first came to town or whatever. And Kim asked her a simple question. She asked her, now that Drew is not Jason, how does that change things for you? And I noticed real quick how Elizabeth didn't answer that question. She answered it, but she didn't give an actual answer. She just said, "Oh, he feels like Sam is the love of his life, and I got Franco now." I'm like, that's not answering the question. Even Kim told her that's not answering the question. So before they could elaborate, that's when Franco come up because he was eavesdropping. Obviously, of course, that's what he does best, like a cockroach lurking in the shadows. Um, her answer alone made me feel like she's not really serious about Franco. She keep running around trying to act like she all into Franco and this, that, and the third. Bitch, no, you're not. Because your answer gave it away. You're not into Franco at all like you claim you are. Because if you were, your answer should have been that you're not thinking about Drew. That nothing has changed for you. That should have been your answer. That when she asked you, does that change things for you now? You should have said no. That should have been your first and only answer. No. But the fact that you had to give off this long answer that really didn't answer the question, that tells me that you're not serious about Drew. I mean, you're not serious about Franco. She's not serious. I could tell by that little dumb answer she gave. Because when somebody answer a question without actually answering the question, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to the person you're talking to. And if Franco had any smarts, then he would realize it too. This wedding ain't gonna happen. Even if they by chance get married, they'll be annulled by the end of the month before the new year happens. If they get married this month, um, her answer was too vague. Like you just gave a long answer that didn't answer the question. I'm like, yeah, you're not serious about Franco. You're still jonesing for either Jason or you're jonesing for Drew. Either one, you're jonesing, or probably both. Whichever one Sam don't get permanently, that's the one you're gonna be jocking. It's obvious, clearly. Um. Oh, before speaking of Drew, before I fully finish into this, Billy Miller has re-signed a contract with GH, so he's sticking around. I just got word this morning. I woke up, I had a couple of alerts on my phone, and boom, there it was. Billy Miller has re-signed. They say he signed this fall. I don't know how long the contract is, but I just know that he's sticking around for a while. So we ain't got to worry. Drew ain't going nowhere. For those who were wondering about Billy Miller's status, he's staying. Damn, this tea is good. Um. So anyway, moving on from that shit, Sam. Samantha McCall Morgan. I'm done with Sam. After today, I'm done. I'm just done. The nerve of this bitch. She has treated Jason like fungus on her foot ever since he came back to town. She's treated him like he was a nuisance or something. But the second your husband gets in trouble, you need Jason to come help you. I said, of course. The nerve of this bitch. She lucky it ain't me. Oh, she's lucky it wasn't me. Because if I was Jason, I would have told her about herself. I would have told her to go straight to hell. For real, like you treat that man like garbage ever since he came back to town. She hasn't not one time initiated. This is the first time since Jason been back that she initiated conversation with him. He's always initiated conversation with her since he's been back, not the other way around. But the first time you initiate conversation with him is to ask for a favor. Bitch, what? And then on top of that, he has no reason to help your husband. Your husband has been nothing but nasty and rude to him ever since he came back to town. Honestly, I don't really blame Drew for feeling how he feel, but like I said, his anger is misguided. Like he's angry at the wrong motherfucking person. See, at least Sonny and Jason are teaming up to find out who's behind this shit. Drew, all he cares about is the money. Oh, we're gonna lose the company. We're gonna lose the money, the life that we built. Why are you not teaming up with Sonny and Jason to focus on who the fuck's behind this shit? Like I understand how you feel. I mean, shit, Jason. I get, Jason is the one who's the victim in all of this too. But everybody act like Drew is the victim. No, Jason's a fucking victim too. He lost 5 years of his life. He lost 5 years of getting to know a son he didn't even know was his son. He lost time and he didn't even know that Jake was back, for the last 2 years. He lost time with everybody. AJ was back. He didn't get to talk to him, mend fences with him, nothing. Nothing. He's just as much a victim. He lost everything. Morgan died. He didn't even know nothing about it. He had to find out when he came back. Like, Edward died while he was gone. Like 2 months after, like a month after he left, Edward died. You know, it was crazy. He just lost so much. He's a victim too. Yeah, I feel real sorry for Jason. But I like that he's not wallowing in pity and stuff like that. And he's moving on with his life, getting right back into the swing of things. That's how you're supposed to do it. You know, take your licks and just keep on ticking. And that's what he doing. He kicking down doors, finding out who behind this shit. And you know what? I understand why Jason helped Sam because that's his nature. I'm just saying for me, I wouldn't have helped. I wouldn't have helped. And I'm getting sick of Alexis. Like her tone today was so out of pocket, talking about oh Jason, oh he's not gonna help. Alexis, shut the fuck up. Put the shut to the up. Please, shut up. God, just shut the freak up. I'm getting so sick of Alexis and her attitude. Like, she's the last bitch that should talk. Look at all the idiotic men you've been with. Like, shut the hell up. Like, I was all for in the beginning. I was all for Alexis having her opinion, but you've been had your opinion like 3 episodes ago. Your opinion is now null and void. Shut up. You said what you had to say. Stop with the snarky comments about Jason and shut the hell up and do your job as a lawyer. Be grateful that you got your law degree back. Hmm? And be fuck quiet. Be grateful that you got your license back and shut up. We don't need your snark. So Jason went in there. He talked to the Navy lawyer or whatever, told him everything that happened, and the Navy lawyer felt like, okay, well, it's not up to him, but he's gonna make some calls to see if he can help Drew get out of this or whatever. Um, Drew was up in the damn cell across from Andre Maddox talking to him or whatever, and basically towards the end, he was asking Andre, is there some way that he could get his old memories back to find out his past life? But Andre wouldn't answer because Andre had to go upstairs to meet with his lawyer. So he said that he'd tell him about it later or whatever. I was like, well, shit, it's about time somebody started trying to figure this shit out other than Jason. Shit, Drew, you need to figure this shit out. Um. So anyway, Oscar he go over to Sunny house or whatever, him and Jocelyn or whatever. Sunny want to talk to him about his interest in Drew Kane, but Sunny had got a phone call before Oscar could answer the question because Oscar was stumbling and fumbling around with the answer. So Sunny had to go or whatever. So Jocelyn got a text on her phone about the DNA results, trying to figure out if Drew is really Oscar's father. But I think Oscar is hesitant about finding out the truth on whether or not that's his dad. I can understand why he's a little hesitant because it's been like 14 years in the making and he's finally about to find out. So I can see why he's a little nervous. Um. So anyway, I need to woosah real quick. Moving on to Nell. Nell. The bitch just don't learn. Mm-mm-mm. So Maxie and Lulu confronted her about the whole pay stub and stuff, and the fact that she sold the Man Lander story to ask to the invader or whatever. And at first she was denying it until they showed her the proof, and then she confessed to it or whatever, talking about some she didn't do anything illegal or whatever, which is true. She didn't do nothing illegal. All she did was snitch. Okay, you snitched for $10,000. But the fact is, you lied about it, and I felt like Nathan and them, yeah, they did commit fraud, which is true, they did, but it was for a good cause. Basically the ends justified the means because it was for Amy's brother, who's a war vet. So I give them a pass on that because it wasn't like they were doing it for selfish greed. It wasn't like they were all doing it trying to get rich off the shit. They were just trying to make money for her brother, who's a war vet. So I can give them a pass on the fraud shit. I can give them a pass on that. I just don't like the sneaky shit that they'll do. It's like you do sneaky shit, but you're too dumb to cover it up. Like, learn how to cover your tracks if you're gonna do some slick shit. Two, you lie about everything. It's like she's a pathological liar. This girl wouldn't know the truth if it slapped her dead in the fucking face. If you could tattoo truth on her forehead, she would still lie. Still lie. And Michael basically was done with the bitch. He told her he cutting off all ties with her. He said that that apartment building that he bought, her apartment, he's selling it. She talking about, oh, what about my rent? Shake, go to a strip club and shake your ass to make the money then, shit, and pay your bills. That ain't got nothing to do with him. What you supposed to boo-hoo? So she keep bitching and complaining to Michael, talking about, oh, you don't know how it is to be poor, be broke, and worry about creditors. I am so sick of hearing this bitch complain about money and creditors. Here's the thing. Jax offered her money. Jax offered her a lot of money to leave town, start over. She chose not to do that. You could have went to any city you wanted, got a nice apartment, maybe even start a small business or something. Jax was offering a lot of money. Also, she turned that down just to stay in Port Charles. with people that don't like her. The only ally that she has in that town is Jocelyn, and that's because Jocelyn's a teenager and she doesn't know everything that Nell's done. You have way more enemies than you have friends. The only friend you possibly could have in that town is Jocelyn. That's it. Everybody else in that town hates your fucking guts. Sonny got her a good job in Atlanta. She turned it down. But yet you're complaining about money. All these rich people were offering you a new lease on life, start over in a new town, but you chose to stay in Port Charles to make more enemies, enemies that you cannot afford to have. Like you're making some powerful enemies. The Cassidines, the Corinthoses, the Quartermains, the Spencers. Like you're just making enemies. Maxie, you're just making enemies upon enemies. That's all you're doing. When you had two people who are very wealthy offering you money to get the fuck out of their city, out of their town, and you chose to stay and be broke and just create more chaos. That's on you. Then on top of that, she's still lying to Michael, talking about Maxie's the reason she got fired from Crimson. Maxie, I'm glad Maxie was there because she jumped up and told Michael the truth. She was like, I ain't had nothing to do with this bitch getting fired. She got herself fired because of what she was doing with Valentine, blackmailing him. And her blackmail was corny. Like, you honestly thought Valentine Cassadine was gonna succumb to your blackmail? Like, bitch, he went up against way worse enemies than you. All you had was a picture of him kissing another woman or another woman kissing him. He could easily tell Nina about it and explain the shit rather than to sit there and try to help you get a raise. Mind you, around this time right now, she would have been had her raise because Nina promised that she would get a raise around December. So right around this time, if she was still working at Crimson, she would have her raise right now. But she pissed it away. You got fired because of you, not because of anybody else. You know, you try to blackmail a powerful person and you got burned. You showed your cards too soon. And Nina promised her a raise. She never told you, oh, I'm not going to give you a raise. She promised you a raise. You were just too fucking impulsive and impatient that you couldn't wait a few weeks and you would have had the raise. She told you she had to talk to Sam and Drew first because that's what happens when you work in a company. You have to talk to the bosses first. They don't have money just to throw around raises whenever you want one. There's plenty of working class people who would love a raise, but their companies can't afford to just throw out raises because all that money has to go somewhere. They have to pay the staff. They got to pay utilities. They got to pay advertising, marketing. You know, it's a lot of places where that money goes. So they have to see if they have it in the budget to give you a raise. But she promised you a raise. Just give her some time to talk to Sam and Drew, and she would have got you your raise. She never told you no. You were just too damn impatient to wait. So now, not only are you not getting a raise, bitch, you're not getting a check, period. You had a good paying job, a job where you could fly around the world whenever needed, because that's what Crimson was. I mean, hell, they did on location photo shoots, and you were flying to Morocco and all these places. You fucked that all up. So that's on you. You ain't got nobody but yourself to blame for that. You know, so don't sit there and blame Maxie for you assing yourself out of a job. Now you're doing little stupid jobs, temporary jobs here and there. Now you're selling stories to the invader for $10,000. It's just stupid. Jax offered you a lot of money to start over, and you refused it like a dummy. Because if it was me, my ass would have took it. So now she played the only card she had left to play. She's pregnant. And I'm glad that Michael stood up to her in the previews and told her, you're not pregnant, you're desperate. I said, exactly, she's desperate. Because think about it like that. How convenient of her to tell him that she's pregnant now. How convenient. You wait till he completely is done with you and threatens to sell the building that you live in. Now you want to come out with you're pregnant. Why didn't you tell him this when you were at the Metro Court giving that present to Jocelyn? Why didn't you tell him that then? When y'all were all smiles and in a good place. That was the perfect time to tell him. And she hasn't shown any pregnancy signs. What about a few weeks ago? Why you wait till now to tell him that you're pregnant? When you could have been told him. The bitch is lying. I don't believe for a second she pregnant. Even if it does turn out that she pregnant, what's she gonna do? Blackmail a doctor to keep her secret? Cause she ain't got no money to pay a doctor off. So she probably gonna blackmail one to keep up the ruse that she pregnant, or she probably gonna tamper with the test. I don't believe she's pregnant because it was way too convenient for her to drop that bomb. Like I said, it's straight out of the Gold Digger's Handbook. It really is. Stevie Wonder could see this play coming. It's the only when you're a gold digger and you try every angle to trap a person and they don't work, you try the one card you only have left to play. You're pregnant. That's the only card she got to play. And she's playing it. And I have a feeling that bitch is gonna get played. She gonna get played. This whole story gonna blow up in her face yet again. Cause number one, she's not as sneaky as she thinks she is. She might get away with it for a few weeks, maybe a few months. It's gonna blow up in her goddamn face. Cause the bitch ain't smart. She don't know how to cover her tracks up. And I have a feeling that this is gonna be Lulu's next big story to find out if the bitch is really pregnant. Probably gonna be her next big story. So anyway, Sonny and Jason show up to some little hotel or apartment or whatever, and they kick in the door, and they look like they surprised by what they see. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Maybe it's phase on. Who knows? Um. So anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I'll see y'all all tomorrow. Have a great day. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.